Hi everyone, and in today's lesson I'm going to be talking about how to describe trends in English. It doesn't matter if you've been asked to describe last year's sales figures for a management meeting or whether you just want to give your opinion to some friends after work. Being able to describe trends is still a good skill in English, and I'm going to tell you how to do it in this video. You may know that I like watching Premier League football, and I'm going to look at the trend in the number of points that the winners got over the last 10 or 11 years. Here is a table, and you can also see the same information in this line graph. So we're going to start looking at 2007-2008, and the winners were Manchester United back when they were good, and they won the league with 87 points. But you can see the change for the next year when actually they won again with 90 points. So how can we describe that change? We want to use verbs like to go up, to increase, to rise. But because we're talking about a time that has gone before, we really need to use past simple tense. So we can say the number of points the winners got went up from 87 to 90 points, or the number of points increased from 87 to 90 points, or the number of points rose from 87 to 90 points. Another way to describe the same change is to say that the number of points went up by 3 points, or the number of points increased by 3 points, or the number of points rose by 3 points. Now let's move on to the following year, and can you see that this year was the time when Chelsea won the league? But in terms of the trend, the opposite happened. The number of points went down, the number of points decreased, the number of points fell. So we can describe that trend by saying one of the following. From 2008-2009 to 2009-10, the number of points won by the winning team went down from 90 points to 86 points. Or we could say the number of points decreased from 90 points to 86 points. Or the number of points fell from 90 points to 86 points. And another way of saying that, the number of points went down by 4 points. So there was a very similar story the following year when the number of points for the winner went down from 86 points to 80, decreased from 86 to 80, fell from 86 to 80. We can say that the winning number of points fell by 6 points. Now moving on to the 2011-2012 season, you can see that Manchester City won the league with an increased amount of points. In fact, it was a much increased number of points, so probably we need to tell the listener about that big change, and the way that we could do that is by using an adverb. For a big change, we can use adverbs like these: dramatically, substantially, considerably, significantly, noticeably, or markedly. So I can say that when Manchester City won the league, the number of points increased significantly. the number of points rose significantly. The number of points went up significantly from 80 to 89. Or they went up significantly by 9 points. And before I forget, let's have a look at the seasons 11-12 and 12-13. Can you see that the number of points the winners got was the same, 89 points? So how can we describe that in a trend? We can say the number of points remained constant at 89 points. The number of points stayed the same at 89 points. The number of points remained stable at 89 points. In 2014-15, Chelsea won the league and the number of points was higher than the previous season, but actually only by a very small amount, just by 1 point. So we need to use some adverbs again to tell the listener that the change was only by a small amount. Here are some useful adverbs to use. Slightly, modestly, moderately, negligibly. All of these adverbs can be used to indicate a small change. So we can say that Chelsea won the league and the number of points from the previous season increased slightly by 1 point. The number of points they won rose slightly from 86 points to 87 points. So for a bit of an exercise for you, why don't you try to explain the trend of the rest of the years in this graph. In fact, I'll put the table in the description box so you can refer to that and try to explain the trend for each of the years from 2014-15 all the way up to date last season when Manchester City won in 2018-19. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. But for today, everyone, bye bye. See you again very soon.